Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the feature race at Woodbine on Sunday. We'll conclude the Canadian Triple Crown with race number 9. Here's the field for the $400,000 Breeders' Stakes, going a mile and a half on the turf. You've got the Queen's Plate winner, the 4 Safe Conduct, who won, of course, at a mile and a quarter on Tapeta. You've got the 8 Hadassah, who won the second jewel, the Prince of Wales, at a mile and 3/16 on dirt. The question is, do either of them really want turf? And the answer is, looks like Safe Conduct does.
I guess Safe Conduct. I don't think you have to worry about the surface for him. I don't think you have to worry about the surface for either of them, actually, Dan. I think they're both fine switching to turf. They do have to get a mile and a half this time. That could be a problem for sure. But, at the end of the day, they're facing, it's a lot of the same faces as the horses they've already beaten.
But as we're going to talk about, a lot of horses in that Queen's Plate had trouble, and there should be some pace in a full field of 12 as we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector. Hadassah, the 8, likes to be forward. The 4 Safe Conduct also likes to be forward. I think those horses are going to be close to the pace. You've got a couple of stretch outs. Executive Giant, I guess the 11 can be close. The 10, Go Take Charge. The question I have for you is, do you think this pace will be fast? Because other than the 4 and the 8, there are really no confirmed front runners other than the stretch out sprinters.
Yeah, I didn't really see it being a fast pace. I guess we'll find out. Certainly based on the first two legs of this Triple Crown, containing a lot of the same horses, and neither of those were fast paces. And both of those races were sort of dominated up close, Dan. So I didn't see why this would be any different.
A big priced horse that is hoping the pace is fast is the 1 British Royalty. This horse was claimed 2 starts back for $40,000, and then was the only 3-year-old in a mile and a quarter allowance race last time out. And even though he was the only 3-year-old, you can maybe make an excuse for that. He just didn't do much in a weak field.
Yeah, he's just hard to make a case for in this race. He's a big price on the morning line. As a new trainer and new owner, they're going to take a shot here and stretch him all the way out in a major race, and maybe it'll work out for them, but I haven't seen it on the track.
Riptide Rock, the number 2. I really like the way this horse won his synthetic debut. 3 starts back, going 6 furlongs. He dropped down to track the pace inside early, had to alter course sharply to the outside in mid-stretch, and was best. I really expected him to be a lot more forwardly placed in the Queen's Plate. He was last on the back stretch, and he came with a good strong run on the outside to just miss. Last time out in the Toronto Cup, kind of flattened out a little bit late, but all in all, kind of made the first move into a slow pace and flattened out.
Yeah, I didn't love his race last time. That was his only a second start on turf, and it was cutting all the way back to a mile. He came around to the outside. Artie Storm, who outfinished him for second, stayed towards the inside and maybe caught a little traffic. I don't know. I didn't love that race, Dan, but I did like his Queen's Plate, and I do think he has a real chance to rebound here.
Keep grinding the 3, beating 2 lengths in the Queen's Plate. A couple of horses had, I think, tougher trips than he did, however. And then the Prince of Wales, he loomed and finished 3rd. He's in solid form. I think he needs to take a slight step forward, but would he really be the biggest shock in the world at what should be a solid price?
Yeah, no, he wouldn't be that big of a surprise. I can't say I've been his biggest fan, that's for sure. I just personally don't like the way he finishes in his races, and so I'm not sure that a mile and a half is actually going to help him. But no, to your question, no, he would not be the biggest surprise in the world here.
Here's the Queen's Plate winner, the number 4 Safe Conduct, who beat 6 of these rivals in the plate and had a great ride from Arad Ortiz. Got forward in this race, a lot of banging around behind. Riptide Rock, you're going to see come to the far, far outside and try to come around everyone. While he did have an easy trip, he fended everybody off and was very, very game.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll give him some credit for that because he took this race over at the top of the stretch with a whole host of horses right there on his heels. He just kept finding, Dan. Listen, if you told me that you thought the second or the 3rd place finisher ran at least as well as he did, I wouldn't argue with you. But this horse won the race. He's more tactical than both of those horses. And he has a really nice turf win back at Belmont Park on May 2nd. That was a good field. It came back a fast race, and he was impressive.
And again, you can go into your formulator past performances, click on the trouble line, the comment line, and you'll be able to watch the replay of the race and watch H.C. Holiday's trip. I know you liked him in the plate, Mike. He was down inside while Riptide Rock had to go very wide, but he ended up in trouble, had to steady a bit on the far turn. And when he got clear, he was running on at the end.
Yeah, he ran really well in the plate. I don't know that, at the end of the race, if I felt like the mile and a quarter was necessarily playing to his advantage, but he did have an excuse in that race. The Prince of Wales last time, first of all, I'm not sure he's a dirt horse, Dan. And to me, he was just never in position to win that race. I didn't like the trip or ride he got that day. I think he's pretty interesting switching to turf for the first time here. He has a lot of turf on the bottom of his pedigree. This is the female family of Winter Memories, Memories of Silver. These are really good turf horses, and he's on turf for the first time here.
The 6 Artie Storm, if you're looking for a horse that's avoided the rigors of the Triple Crown Trail, maybe Artie Storm is the horse who's coming into his own. Let's watch the Toronto Cup last time. Now, keep in mind, folks, this is a one-turn mile. He is stretching out significantly off this effort, but he didn't have a lot of pace to run at. He's kind of held up in behind horses right here in the stretch, and eventually he's going to get a seam, and he's going to get up for second with Riptide Rock, you see on the outside, flattening out for third. All in all, this was a good effort. The distance is a big question.
Yeah, it's a big question, as is the class. I mean, he is stepping up, I think, into a better race here. We'll see. I thought he ran okay in here, Dan. If I'm being honest, and he was in traffic in the upper stretch, I wanted to see him maybe finish a little bit better on that race. I felt like once he got clear in there, I didn't love the way he was finishing, but he could certainly improve here.
Breaking Alone, the number 7, taking a big step up in class. We watched his last race, 1 mile and a 16th in Woodbine, but keep in mind, this is his first race since February, and maybe the connections were using it as a prep. He was claimed for $35,000 at Gulfstream 2 starts back. He has a look at this in mid-stretch, Mike. He just can't get there. Blinkers off.
Yeah, he was off the layoff here. Maybe he needed it. He's sort of weaving around there, changing his leads back and forth. His first 2 starts on turf, which were both wins, they were against much weaker competition. He runs fine here. He did take a step forward. It doesn't make me want to bet him back in this race.
Hadassah, the number 8, the Prince of Wales winner, is going to try to get it done on turf. Only raced once previously on the grass. That race off of a lengthy layoff. You can give him a mulligan for the 3rd place finish. He often pulls very hard in the early portion of his races, and he's going to need to relax if he's going to successfully navigate the 1.5 miles. Couldn't really find the excuse in the plate. He pulled hard early. He was outside. He made a bid on the turn, and he tired.
Yeah, he did. I have no argument with that view of the Queen's Plate. I did think he ran a little bit better last time. They put him right into the race early. He took over and he held on. I think this horse is a player in here, Dan. I don't worry about distance with him. The only turf start, as you mentioned, not only off the layoff, but with Town Cruise, the recent Woodbine Mile winner, just controlling things on the front end. I actually thought this horse ran deceptively well that day.
Collective Force is the number 9. Let's watch Collective Force's maiden win on August the 29th. This horse has stamina pedigree by Tiz now out of a Bernardini mare, and it looks like he's got no shot here at the 3/16. He's kind of in between horses, and maybe no one else is finishing very strongly, but Collective Forces to win his maiden, this is a huge step up in class, but a good-looking son of Tiz now that should get the distance.
Yeah, I should get the distance. That's true. I wonder if he's going to turn out to be a turf horse. I think that was sort of my main concern with him. But we'll see. The only time they tried it, I guess, in his debut, you don't have to hold that race against him. His dam did win on turf, but I wonder if this horse is going to be as good on the surface.
10 Go Take Charge, 11 Executive Giant. These are 2 maidens taking on winners. Go Take Charge was 79-1 in the plate, prompted the pace and tired. Executive Giant, he was in for a tag 2 starts back, and he finished second. Both of these horses need gigantic improvement.
Yeah, they're just, really hard to make cases for. They're going to be huge prices if you can somehow find a way to do that. But the horse on the outside, Harlan Estate, he's not that hard to make a case for, Dan. His recent form is actually pretty good, but he's another one who has to prove he can do it on the grass. He has won on turf, but it feels like he really improved when they switched him over to synthetic.
And I do wonder how far he wants to go. He's a son of Cantharos, going to try to go 1.5 miles, but he had trouble in the Queen's Plate, and he ran well in the Prince of Wales last time out. You're right. He's in sneaky form, going to have to work out a trip from post position number 12, and we'll be hoping for a solid pace up front. We take a look at our top picks for the Breeders' Stakes. I'm hoping Time Form US maybe a little bit off with their pace projector. I think Safe Conduct can get another decent trip up close to the pace, and I know he likes the turf. You're going back to HC Holiday, and why not? You liked him in the plate. He had trouble. He ran, listen, last time out, I don't think he's a dirt horse.
Yeah, I don't either. We'll see. He hasn't run on turf yet, but he's certainly bred to handle it. So I'll give him a chance in here. I'm not against Safe Conduct. I do like his turf form. I think he's the horse to beat, but it feels like HC Holiday is going to be too big a price for me to resist once again.
Same exact different order. Mike's going 5-4-8-2. I'm going 4-5-6-3. The third jewel of Canada's Triple Crown is the Breeders' Stakes, and it's Sunday's 9th at Woodbine. Good luck.